Okay, so today's main goal is to be able to factor and solve and be able to tell the difference between whether it's asking you to factor or solve quadratic equations. I have these different situations up here where it says when A is equal to 1, when A is not equal to 1, when B is equal to 0, when C is equal to 0. Okay, and we'll get to those and I'll kind of point out which ones they are. And it's all based on that standard form right there, okay? The ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. That's the form it needs to be in. Now, these notes are a little backwards, steps 2 and 3 are backwards. So, like what we said on the warm-up, very first thing, I want to set it equal to 0, which we did on the warm-up. Then I'm going to look for a greatest common factor. There is no number that I can divide 2, 1, and 6 by evenly. There's no number I can divide all three of those by evenly. So after that, I'm going to identify the A, the B, the C. I also want you to put the AC in there. We talked about this a little bit last class. So the A is always the coefficient of x squared. So Bill, what is the A value? 2. And if you're curious where we're looking at this equation up here. So the A is 2. Jeremy, what is the B?
1.
Casey, what is the C? And Journey, if the AC is the A times the C, then what's the AC value? Negative 12. Once I've identified those, I'm now on step 4. I'm going to write the first term in the top left box, the last term in the bottom right box. After that, I'm going to find I'll go to 5, and on step 5 it says identify two factors of the product of AC that have a sum or difference of B. Write these factors of coefficients of x in the other two boxes. That is a fancy way to help me in my mind, which I have to dumb things down for me. The way I write that is, and I think I showed it to you last time on that Algebra 1 review, the factors of AC that equal B. Okay, so they have to multiply to be negative 12. They have to add or subtract to be 1. So, let's forget about the negative right now. What are some factors of 12? Okay, I heard 6 and 2. I think I heard 1 and 12. What else is there? 3 and 4. Which set of those factors, whether I'm adding or subtracting, can get me to positive 1? Which one? 3 and 4. Which one of those needs to be negative, the 3 or the 4? Negative 3.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Why did you put 6 in the box instead of 4?
The last term, so whatever this is, we'll go there.
Okay.
The AC, we'll only use the AC whenever we're doing this process, the factors of it. So I'm going to take negative 3 and 4. I'm going to put both of those in the box, but I'm going to make them coefficients of x. Then I'm going to find the greatest common factors going up. We'll do those first. So again, when I say greatest common factor, you're thinking, what is the largest number I can divide 2 and 3 by and it come out evenly? So what would that greatest common factor be? Just 1. And then between x squared and x, I'll have the x up there. So now, what is the greatest common factor between 4 and 6? 2. Whatever sign is in front of that or if there is no sign, it's positive. Okay. If it's positive, that is what's going to go there. So if it's positive 4x, it'll be x plus 2. And now we'll go right to left. So what is the greatest common factor between 2 and 4? 2. X squared and x. X. Greatest common factor between 3 and 6. Is that one going to be plus 3 or minus 3? Minus 3. If I'm doing the box method on a quadratic equation, are those spots always going to have x right there? Yes. Okay. So we'll go down to 7. It says rewrite the equation in factored form to solve for x. So I'll come down here. I've got x plus 2, 2x minus 3. Now, whenever I was explaining what we were doing today, I told you that you really need to tell the difference between whether it says to factor or if it says to solve. If this says to factor, we're done. We square this right here. There's our answer. If it says to solve, we still do all this, but then we set each one of those equal to 0 and solve like we did on the warm-up, which one of us gave, one of them, and it's the same problem we had on the warm-up. One gave us negative 2, and then the 2x minus 3 gave us positive 1.5. And so that would be the answer. Questions on that? Right there. Fabulous. On these two, I'm going to get you started on the first one. I'm going to want you to finish it and then also do number 2. And please do this with the people you're sitting around. So, very first thing, it doesn't have equal to 0, but if it doesn't have equal to another number, just assume that it's equal to 0. Does this one have a greatest common factor? No. So, right off the bat, I'm identifying my A, my B, my C, and my AC. Roslyn, what is my A value?
2.
Risa, what is my B?
11.
11. EJ, what is my C?
12.
Larkin, what is my AC? So now I'm going to try to find the factors of 24 that add up to positive 11. I want you to take it over from there. I'll be a minute or so behind you. If you're struggling and you have a question, please let me know. Did anybody find the two factors of 24 that add up to 11? 8 and 3. Awesome. Once you have those in there, now you're just finding the greatest common factors going up. And also going right to left. On this problem, somebody tell me, is this going to be my final answer, or do I need to solve for x in each one of those? What does the word in the instructions say on this one? Factor. So I'm done right now. It's going to be 2 binomials set up like that. So if you haven't already started number 2, please begin on that. On this one, it's already set equal to 0. I will need to check to see if there's a greatest common factor, which there is not. So I will identify my A, B, C, and AC. I would then need to find the factors of that AC value that equal my B value, which would be -5, -6, and +5. Fill out my box correctly. And then now again I'm finding the greatest common factors going up and right to left. Here's the answer for number 2. Again, because it has factor, the instructions are to factor it. My answer is not going to be x equals. I'm going to have it in what is called factored form, which are the two parentheses, two binomials next to each other. If you get through number 4, if you really want, well, don't do the next one. We're going to talk about that rule that it's on there. I don't like the way it's written, so we're going to change it up a little bit.
So do we number 4?
Yeah, go ahead and do number 4, but once you get down to that example 2, stop before you do that. On 3, hopefully you've already started this. You should already be there. If not, there is no greatest common factor. So I need to identify my A, B, C, A, C. The factors of +6 that equal -7. Anybody find that? -6 and -1. Remember, two negative numbers multiplied together give you a positive product. So -6 times -1 is +6. -6 minus 1 is -7. That is a situation that a lot of people will make mistakes on. So make sure that those signs match up to both the AC term and the B term. Once I'm done with that, I will fill in the top left, bottom right boxes, and also the one that has my two factors.